Well, hello. So there's like 19 states suing President Biden right now. No lie. Yeah, over the vaccination. And then there's a uh there's a stall on the stimulus check um because they want to do this other project first. And Biden has decided that he wants to pay all the illegal alien Mexicans that have come from Mexico, each $450,000 each to help them out. And you know what that's going to do? Every every Mexican in Mexico is going to come directly to the United States, and Mexico will be empty. It would only have like expats there. Can you imagine that? 450K, what about us? Guess what 450K do for me? You know what I mean? How about you? 450K. This guy's lost his entire mind. I'm surprised he's even lasted this long. I'm telling you what. And I have never in my life heard of states suing a president. Is that a first or what? I just don't know, man. I love this stuff. These are two of my favorite things in Mexican foods. I love salsa verde. It's really good on chicken, on like baked or rotisserie chicken. So how are you doing? I bet you could use 450K from President Biden. Can you be Mexican real fast? Man, I can't even believe it. You know, he stopped him from building the wall, but now he's just welcoming him to be here, like to protect him. It's a lot of tacos. That's what I say. Man, a lot. I just don't know. What is the United States coming to? And I'm telling you, they'll come up with a stimulus if they do it. That for stimulus, it'll be like right before Christmas. You know, they because they have to bring the economy up because it's ruined. Look at gas. Gas is going crazy. You know, and it's going to get worse around Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know that. That's a fact. And food has gone up. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Inflation, inflation, inflation. Hard to believe. How far will they go? I guess till they crash the stock market, probably. But if they crash the stock market, then real estate's going to go down. And it's already starting to drop a little bit right now. I was kind of hoping they would come back down to normal. Retail housing will probably drop quite a bit, but I'm kind of thinking that rents are going to stay up pretty high. So, it'll get interesting. But we're in a big mess now. 19 states suing Biden. That's incredible. I just don't know. I'd love to know if anybody's sued a president before. I never got too much into all the presidents and all that because I just figured, well, if all that drama's not happening in my backyard, I'm not really worried about it. And, because so much politics and they All these politicians, they run the country, not the president anyway. They just tell him what to do. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. You ever try this Herdez? This stuff's good. And if you like orange drink, Aritos. Make two different orange drinks. And that stuff's really good every once in a while. But the really greatest stuff is that Mexican Coke. You can get it in some stores in the U.S. And it is good. It's like the old time Coca Cola. Custom Cycle. It's been a huge mess building it for years and it's basically exploded in 2017. Yeah, I think so. I think you're absolutely right. Um, have you ever heard him suing a president before? I've never heard of that. It really makes you wonder what our country's coming to. That pandemic, they told everybody to stay home, don't work, don't have any money to pay the rent and the bills. Everybody gets in trouble. Landlords don't get rent for over a year. I love that stuff. You got to try that green on a chicken, on like a baked or broiled or rotisserie chicken. Oh, it is so good. You dip it right in it. It's awesome. But yeah, it's just hard to believe. I don't know. We're in a total mess, an absolute mess. I mean, with all the people that are homeless, with the pandemic and everything, it's just ruined everybody. It doesn't contain all of the nasty incidents that American products do. I agree. I love Latin food. I love Cuban food, Mexican food, Puerto Rican food. I love that food. But I've had a lot of Latin friends. I have one child that's Cuban, so Cuban food's really good. But I think I'm considering moving to Mexico actually, and I guess if all the Mexicans are going to move out and vacate because the president wants to give them $450,000 each to be here, I might really need to be in Mexico. Because it's cheaper in a lot of ways to live than the United States. I know a lot of people that are living out there. And they come back, here and there. But I know two people, one that's been there like 20 years and another that's been there like 15. And but the only thing is to get into Mexico, you got to have state sitting presidents. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it if it has happened before. Yeah, I never researched it. Yeah, it's I've never heard of it. But the headlines are 19 states are suing President Biden over the vaccine. And then uh, I'm sure a whole bunch of people will be suing him if they ever get that bill passed. I don't know where they're getting this money. They don't want to cut any stimulus out for all of us. It suffered so badly. Cafe Bustelo, Dior awesome coffees. Yeah. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. 100%, man. That's 100%. My favorite thing is when I lived in California, I used to drive down to TJ. And you know what I drove down there for? Carnitas tacos. No lie. People are like, why are you going to TJ? Carnitas tacos. I would. I love carnitas tacos. They're so good. You know? When I was in Oklahoma, my friends had a big barbecue outside with, a truck with hay on it and all that junk. And I mean, there were so many people there, and they were cooking a pig on this in a hole in the ground and stuff, and man, when they brought that stuff out, there, I was like, they said, "You ever eat that one?" No. And they brought that stuff out, and I went, "Hey, Carnitas, you got some tortillas?" Everyone I know who tried to live in Mexico all returned because you have to have money. It's dangerous. Yeah, it is. There's something with the police where you got to pay them off all the time. Um, and even in the nice places. I have some friends that live at what is it? Lake Chapala. They own a house there, and he had to learn his rounds with paying the police off and all that, and then they started learning from other people you don't have to do that, and there's ways around it, but it's kind of creepy. But yeah, that's it's really interesting how they do it there. I mean, like a loaf of bread is like 27 pesos, and then for us it's like $1.20. But they don't have like any real good paying jobs there. But I heard they have like free college there or something. So I guess a lot of young people like to go down there and go to school for free or whatever. But their medical's cheap. Yeah, but it's hard to get into Mexico as an American because or U.S. citizen because they want to if you want to live there, uh they want to see how much money you have and stuff because they want to make sure you're not broke and just coming over there. But if the United States starts giving every Mexican that runs away from Mexico $450,000 each, you know, I guess all of us are going to be broke. I mean, they might turn around and throw us a $400 stimulus check for Christmas. I know a guy who ran over a chicken on his Harley riding through Mexico, and what a nightmare for him. Oh yeah, no, the worst is a cow. If you run over a cow, they are sacred there. Yeah, that's a big deal. I had a friend of mine went down there, and he went. They put him in jail, and they had a terrible time trying to get him out. And I said, when he got back to California, I'm like, so why'd you go to jail? And he goes, well, I was sleeping in a park. I said, you went to jail for sleeping in a park? He said, well, in the morning I woke up and the police were there and everything, and they were arresting me because there was like 50 beer cans all around me, and they weren't mine. You don't own anything in Mexico. You basically rent everything. Is that right? Yeah, I have some friends that bought a house down there, but I don't doubt it. They've been there like 20 years. And I got a real nice place. I mean, he rebuilt it all and everything. Right on Lake Chapala. But I mean, you can rent like a really, really nice apartment in some of the really, really nice parts of Mexico for like $450 a month for like a 2 bedroom. And then all your other bills and stuff aren't that high. But they won't let you in as a U.S. citizen unless you have a bank account. Like you have, some money or money coming in, because they just, I guess, are too afraid that you'll come there with no money and you'll be like homeless. I don't know how that goes, but there is something about that. You got to prove you have money. So, yeah, yeah, it's really interesting. Um, that I mean, I love Mexico. I love Mexican food. And some of the people are pretty nice and stuff. I feel sorry for a lot of the Mexicans that come here because so many people don't know Spanish, and it's really an important thing to know in business because they work really hard. I think I think the one in the USA is very different. Do you really? This is so good. You can get it at Dollar Tree now. They have two different flavors. They have Mandarin and then another one, and it's like really good orange drink. But yeah, um, it's it's just amazing. But I don't know. I don't, why would Biden do that? Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Why would Biden do that and not care about us? You know, I'd love to see the United States get into medical like they do in Europe, where it's included in your taxes and you can go to the doctors at the hospital anytime. And then if you want like elective surgeries, plastic surgery or something like that, you pay extra for it. But it would be nice if they had medical coverage for just everybody like they do in Europe. That would be just ideal, you know. I don't know why the U.S. is so behind on stuff like that, because it's been like that in Europe forever. But I don't know. Where are they getting the money to pay every Mexican that crosses the border $450,000 each? I mean, they must have the money because they're talking about it. And they're talking about doing it before they even consider the stimulus checks now. Which I really didn't think they were going to give another one, but I had a funny feeling they would give one right around Christmas to help the economy because they're destroying us. Inflation is eating us alive. It is ridiculous. I mean, I couldn't believe how high gas was today. I just want to choke. I was like, no. You know? So, I'm not even door dashing because it's just not worth it with the fuel keeps hiking up. My car burned way too much gas right now. I haven't heard Biden do that. Yeah, Biden wants to give every Mexican illegal alien that's in the United States right now a gift of 450K. And guess how many more will come? I would too. I would too. If I was in Mexico, I'd say, hey, oh yeah, I'd be like moving to Texas. In a heartbeat for 450K. Watch me. And I'd be flying like Superman. You know what I mean? All day long. So I don't know. Unless he's trying to start a war with Mexico or something because the government would kick his butt. They don't want to lose all their people. You know, do you really think they'd want all American citizens living there and all the Mexicans gone? We could have health care for everyone. Why we don't is a mystery to me. Yeah. I mean, they do it in Europe. They just make higher taxes and then there's health care for everybody. And that's something I think we need really bad. Forget all this armor and stuff, and paying all these foreign countries. Let's put it into us. Five or six something a gallon is what I paid for it. Oh, mother of God. You must be out California way. California, Oregon, Texas, Arizona. Well, unless you're back east. Oh yeah, I know. I know there's a lot of homeless here because of the pandemic. There's a lady that started working at Dollar Tree, and she's probably in her 70s or 80s. Real sweet little tiny lady, and she owns her own house, but she had a mortgage on it, and she had trouble paying it during the pandemic, and they're trying to take it right now. And she had to come back to work to try to save her house. And she's probably going to lose it. And the manager was talking to me a couple weeks ago about another lady that was getting evicted out of her apartment in like 15 days. I said, yep, they can do it. I said, it did me in 5. Oregon, see? That's a pretty place, though. It really is. Um, yeah, you need to go east, young man. It gets cheaper as you cross the states. One of the cheaper places for fuel is like Louisiana, but I wouldn't suggest it for living. I mean, great place to visit. Wouldn't want to live there. But if you start heading the other direction, it gets cheaper as you go. Like here in Florida, I think it's like $3.50 today. It's insane prices. Insane. I mean, we were just at like $1.69, like not even a year ago. It's just unreal. And my car's 8 cylinders, so it like sucks the fuel. Bump, bump, you know. But low lead aviation gasoline is $6 a gallon. Oh hell. Weather is 53 right now. Yeah, it's about that here. It is. I'm in upper Florida today. Yeah, it's a mess, isn't it? And that fuel's going to go up before Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know it's going to just keep climbing up. And then will it drop come January? I don't know. I just don't know. I have no desire to live in the South. Well, have you ever lived in the South? I left California. My first stop was Oklahoma. And I cried. I cried before I even left. And I stayed a year. And I transferred from the military college there. And I went to another college in out by Memphis. And Memphis was very good for a lot of years. The money was great there. The weather's bit. I don't like that snow stuff. Miami is 76. I don't doubt it. And see, if Miami's 76, that means Tampa's about 70. 65 or 70 tonight. And because Tampa's usually about 10 degrees warmer than here. And I do love Tampa and Clearwater and all that. I think it will drop by December. Really, you do? Man, I don't know. It's getting scary, isn't it? But I have a funny feeling the internet's going to boom. I think we're going to have too much trouble with supply and demand. And I think the stores are going to run out of stuff. Because they sure can't get it trucked in. And it's been a problem for months. I don't know what the deal is with the truckers. It's either they just are not getting paid enough, or I don't know what, but we can't seem to get trucks. It took like months. Dollar Tree was like vacant and had nothing. They couldn't get their trucks. Dollar General, same way. And now they're just starting to get a truck here and there. But now Walmart's having trouble. Family and friends from the South who moved out here because they hated being poor and not getting anywhere in the South. Well, it just depends. I mean, see, the problem with the South is people are very lax. And I've lived in some places where they'd rather be fishing. They're like, I mean, they'll find any excuse to call in sick to go fishing instead. They're just very lax. And then when they go to fast lane, like California, Oregon, Arizona, they would never survive because they're not used to working that hard. I don't know how people make it in California. I was raised mostly in California, and I'm going to tell you, it just is, it's like, 2,500 minimum rent and $10K to move in. And they're just covered in homeless, before the pandemic. So it's worse now. I don't know how they live. You would have to work 2 full-time jobs to make it in California. It's just, and life shouldn't be like that. It is insane because I cannot get parts, supplies, and a lot of products are on hold because the parts are not available. And do you think it's just that, or do you think it's also the trucking end of it? Because there's something wrong with the picture. I talked to some people at Walmart yesterday and asked them. And I said, are you guys like having problems getting shipments? What do you think about Christmas and all that? And they're like, man, we've never seen the warehouse this empty. Ever. And I went, no. And they said yes, and they're not getting many trucks. California is a completely different world. Man, I've gone back to visit, and I do not like California. I was just offered a free house and everything to go out there, and I was like, no. I mean, I can always change my mind, but I don't like it. It's not like it was when I was a kid. It's like the land of rules. It's so expensive. My brother was telling me the other day, he goes, well, we're all going to lunch. having burgers at this place down Marine Del Rey. I was like, oh wow, cool. I was like, that's fun. And I said, but it'll probably be $1 million. And he was like, no. He's like, it's only like 20, 25 each. I said, for hamburger? Yeah, hamburger and fries is 20 or 25 each. The fries are like $7.99. And I was like, you know what? I'm all done. So we have places like Five Guys and stuff like that. You aren't paying $25 a person to have a hamburger and a fry. That's just pure insanity. You know, always wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge and the house where that they filmed Full House. Well, Golden Gate Bridge, I've been over it. Man, I can't tell you how many times. Um, and the main bridge and the little bridge. Um, and it's no great shakes. It's actually very scary. Very, very scary to drive over it. Every time I've driven over it, it was always frightening because it sways. And I mean, literally, if you stop your car on that bridge, it'll freak you out because it's just kind of blowing in the wind. Yeah, there's some neat things to go see out there, but I mean, like Hearst Castle and stuff like that. But all that stuff costs so much money. Disneyland, man, when I left, Disneyland was like $100 a person. I think it is a lot of the products sitting in ships or not getting imported. That could be very true. Somebody was saying something about they can't get anything from the Orient, but there's been so much havoc created. Always been expensive, yet over the last 4 years, it's been a nightmare. Wow, wow. I have a brother that has a Harley store in Hawaii. Yeah, I had to ask him one day, Dr. Brother. But yeah, it's I think they were faking it with the car stuff though. Um, when they were saying they didn't have chips for cars or some kind of thing. Because for 1 second, car dealers only had one brand new car, and the lot's completely empty, and then the next second, now they got cars. It just kind of blows my mind. Um, and the biggest thing today is the older cars. Yeah, you see Gas Monkey and all these other people. They're doing, like 70s and 80s cars and redoing them complete. And that's what kids want today. All the cars that, like, we grew up with. You know, it's amazing. But, yeah, so how's your business doing out there in Oregon? You do okay over there? I bet it's nice riding a bike down through there. I think it is a lot of the products sitting in ships and not getting imported, sending parts out of the USA has always been expensive over the last 4 years. A nightmare. Yeah, yeah. I just figured they made them so mad over there that they just don't want to ship. And I know that most of the stuff in the USA is outsourced from the Orient, and they figured they could just hang us if they didn't want to ship. So I don't know. Um, but I mean, look at Walmart. When they opened, it was all American made in the USA, and all that. And when Walton was alive, and then now it's like everything's out of the Orient. And I don't know where they get some of that stuff, but they get a lot of stuff that's just broken junk. You know what I mean? It's like you always got to take stuff back to Walmart because it's not going to work. You have any Walmarts out there in Oregon? I know when I went back home to California the last time I went, just a few years ago, they had like one Walmart for like a 200-mile radius. It was so strange. It's like, we could just go to Walmart. Yep. As a matter of fact, I took a bunch of cash and put on Walmart cards so I could use it at Walmart gas stations. And the last Walmart gas station was Arizona. Yeah. And they wouldn't even let me use it at Sam's Club. Yeah. And I'm like, what the heck? Yeah. I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, can we get cash back? And I paid for the stuff. I had like 4 cards maxed out with cash on them. Couldn't do anything with them. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just messy. I think we're gonna be short of a whole bunch of stuff for Christmas. I really do. I just don't think the stores are gonna have the stock. I just don't think it's happening. And if a majority of it's coming from the Orient, you know how long that takes. And then they have their holiday where they shut all businesses down. You know, and that like takes weeks. You know, because they won't ship out or do anything. But yeah, it's a messy ordeal, that's for sure. But I think they ought to think about giving United States citizens $450,000 each first before they consider giving illegal aliens $450,000 each. That's just a gigantic amount. I mean, that was Biden's idea. It's like, hey, what about us? You know, like that song, Michael Jackson. Hey, what about us? Yeah, it's definitely something. It's like every day it's something new. Just every day. Just don't know what to expect. So how's your guys' weather over there? How much is your gas today? Where you're at? It's about 350 today over here. I'm in Upper Florida. We're in winter, so we're like freezing over here. We're just not used to this kind of weather. It's not as bad as Memphis. Memphis is cold. Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate you.